I'll go ahead and start. So, Coach, just what are your general thoughts on this weekend?
Well, on Friday we had a slow start, but we created opportunities in the second half, and we, even though we lost 2-0, we had opportunities to score. Yesterday, I don't know if you see the match, we had opportunities as well. We outshot New Mexico State, and I feel like we outplayed them for the majority of the match. And the chances were there on corner kicks, on 1v1s with the goalkeepers. It's just a matter of putting the ball between the rectangle, and we just need to get it in. But very happy with how we're playing right now. I mean, we're not very far off out of the losses we've had. 4 out of the 5 losses, I mean, in my opinion, could have gone either way. It hasn't been, us getting beat, sometimes beating ourselves, or sometimes us just being a little unlucky. But like I said, that's kind of where we are right now.
Yeah, so what kind of things do you really want your players to take and learn from this week, from this road trip, and take into next week as you guys are going to be on the road again?
Well, I mean, even though we're at this point of the season, I still feel like we're growing, and we're building on positives. And yesterday, the fight that we put up, and just the way we played in general was encouraging. And we walked away from that. I felt sick for them after the game, just because I know how well they played, and and it was there. But I think that going forward, we're going to be competitive. I don't see anybody giving up, because that's not the character of this team for sure.
Yeah. Who are some girls who stuck out to you this weekend while on the road trip?
Well, our back line played really well this weekend. I have to give everybody credit, from Faith McCarley, Ellen, and Macy, and again, in our midfield created a lot of chances as well with Taylor, Natalie, and Brennan and Jazzy, and even our front line, Chase. I mean, I'm calling everybody out, Chase and Kaylin and Sammy and Jordan. I mean, we were all playing so hard, and I thought that we overall had a pretty good team effort. But again, it's just a matter of getting things to really click on the offensive side.
So you guys have a pretty long road trip this weekend. You all are heading to Phoenix for Grand Canyon, and then you're heading to Riverside for California Baptist. So how do you kind of prepare for those longer road trips?
Well, we do have a bye this weekend. And it's the following weekend when we go out there, but those teams are very good. And and I thought that travel went pretty smooth this weekend. I feel like that both games we were ready to play. It's important that the travel goes smooth and you get enough rest and you kind of get yourself ready to play. But I feel like that when we go out there, it'll be a good trip, and I think we'll be ready to play and compete.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, you mentioned it. This is a bye week. It's a time to regroup, refocus. How do you ideally like to spend these bye weeks getting your team ready?
Well, it's just kind of like taking a breath. I think that's the first thing. And fortunately this year we've been pretty blessed with not having any injuries, any serious ones that have stuck out. So again, it's just mainly trying to kind of take a breath and take a couple days off and kind of get back into a routine, and just recharge the batteries. But I think it'll be a good time for us to kind of come up with some different ideas and some planning for that upcoming weekend on the road trip in Arizona and California.
Yeah, it's a big road trip. It's a long road trip. I am also curious to hear, what kind of impact do those kind of road trips make on a team, both mentally and physically, during a conference season?
I mean, it is hard. Kind of mainly it's just kind of shaking the ride, and and kind of getting your body ready to go. And I felt yesterday, even after the flight and the long day we had on Saturday. I mean, everybody seemed pretty fresh, so I was pleased with. There wasn't. I was even talking to other coaches about this, and they seem sometimes that you could be a little lethargic on the road. But I didn't think that was the case yesterday. But again, I think we'll be ready to go.
I know you guys. It's been a battle to start conference play. You're still looking for that first win in conference. I don't want to say how do you do that, because it's an obvious answer. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. But what do you feel like just needs to be elevated as far as the level of intensity for this team?
Well, I think, I think kind of breaking that seal of getting a goal, getting a goal early. In games this year that we've scored early, it's like going back to UTEP or any time that we scored early, that really radiates a lot of confidence going forward. Playing in ties or behind, that's always just going to be a grind game after game, but being able to get on the board and put the pressure on the other team is really what we need. And again, it's just pretty simple, but yet it's complicated as well. But that's really, I think, what it is, because I don't think we're lacking the fight and the opportunities. It's just a matter of putting it in.